Formula One fans, prepare yourselves to discover one of the season's best-kept secrets. How does the McLaren MCL39 dominate with such incredibly small cooling vents on the engine cover? What's the hidden trick that no other team possesses? And most importantly, why could this detail revolutionize the design of future racing cars? Stay with us because what you're about to discover is simply brilliant. The Mexican Grand Prix revealed something extraordinary. A photograph, a detail, a secret that until now had remained in the shadows. The McLaren MCL39 hides a revolutionary technical solution that explains its dominance. And now, we can finally reveal it to you. Let's analyze the photos from the recent Mexican Grand Prix. The track was at high altitude. Thin air. Less dense. And you know what happens in these conditions? All teams must enlarge their cooling vents. They need to guarantee efficient airflow for thermal exchanges. It's fundamental for cooling everything. Look at the Williams. Enormous openings extending between the side pods and engine cover. Pronounced shapes, very marked. They recall the solutions from Ferrari's F175 and SF23. Those three-dimensional twisted forms we've seen in the past. Williams references precisely that type of philosophy. And then look at the McLaren MCL39, the car that's dominating the season alongside Red Bull. The engine cover, the openings, the cooling vents on Norris and Piastri's car. They're significantly smaller in surface area compared to competitors, drastically more compact. This is incredibly remarkable. On a circuit where you need greater airflow, where thermal exchange is critical, McLaren seems completely unconcerned. How is this possible? What's the secret? This philosophy recalls the situation with tire temperature control. Since the season's beginning, the MCL39 has managed tires extremely smoothly, while competitors suffered from overheating, difficulty maintaining optimal temperature. McLaren cruised comfortably. There's been much discussion about the excellent design of McLaren's brake basket assemblies. Talk of materials used to absorb heat from the wheels. Materials capable of changing state, absorbing excess heat emitted by brakes, guaranteeing maintenance of proper tire temperatures. But returning to the topic of the very closed engine cover and the very contained power unit cooling vents. The particularity emerges clearly from comparison with Williams and with all other cars. There's something different, something revolutionary. And finally, we have the answer. A photograph shows why McLaren manages to have such reduced vents on the engine cover. And the photo comes from an article by Franco Nugnes on motorsport.com. It reveals a detail that had remained hidden until now. McLaren has a precise reason for having such contained openings on the engine cover. And it's connected to the different positioning of water radiators. Here's the secret. Here's the revolution. Unlike many other cars, like Ferrari in the 2025 championship, McLaren doesn't have water radiators present inside the side pods. This is the crucial point, the fundamental difference. Look carefully at the photos. McLaren's water radiators are positioned completely differently compared to the competition. Not in the side pods like everyone else, but directly on the power unit's back. A bold solution. Innovative. Revolutionary. This positioning allows McLaren to use the air scope to flow cooling air for the radiators along the rear back of the engine cover. Airflow enters from above, cools the radiators, and then exits from the engine cover's tail. At the height of the rear wheels. See the flow? It enters from above through the air scope. The cooling airflow runs along the radiators positioned on the power unit's back, and then exits posteriorly, corresponding to the rear zone. Having a rear outlet. There's no need to open beyond a certain minimum surface area the engine cover vents. Here's the mystery explained. That's why McLaren can afford such a clean engine cover. So aerodynamic, this different water radiator layout, placed right on the power unit's back, brings evidently significant aerodynamic advantages. Think about it. A more closed engine cover fewer turbulences, less air resistance. McLaren can optimize airflow on the engine cover, can work better on rear aerodynamics, can have more downforce or less resistance, depending on circuit needs. But wait, are there radiators inside McLaren's side pods? Of course there are. But they're other types of radiators, not the water ones. Probably inside McLaren's side pods are the oil radiators, and probably also the intercooler necessary for the Mercedes power unit's functioning. So here emerges a particular detail that makes this MCL39 particularly interesting. But it always has been, since it was born in 2025? It's not just a detail, it's part of a complete project, beyond the particularly well-conceived and designed brake basket assemblies. Beyond having front suspension with very pronounced anti-dive architecture, steering arms positioned rearward compared to the front suspension triangle, McLaren also presents this extremely interesting particularity: the different placement of water radiators, not inside the side pods, but positioned above the power unit. It's an integrated system. Every element works with the others, creating perfect synergy. And let's return to the temperature management discussion. Now everything makes more sense. The MCL39's capacity to perfectly manage tire temperatures, it's not just merit of the brake baskets or special materials, it's the entire cooling system that's superior. The differently positioned radiators, the optimized airflow, the rear outlets. Everything works together to maintain optimal temperatures, while other cars must open enormous vents on the side pods. Compromising aerodynamics. McLaren solves the problem more elegantly, more efficiently, faster. This is a detail that will change the future. Engineers from other teams are surely studying this solution for next season's cars, and perhaps also for 2026 with the new regulations. Imagine if everyone adopted this philosophy. Water radiators on the power unit's back, cleaner side pods, more closed engine covers, optimized aerodynamics. It could be a revolution in Formula One design, but it's not easy to copy this solution. It requires complete rethinking of the car's layout, the positioning of all components, integration between power unit and chassis. It's not something you can simply copy. Now, we better understand why the McLaren MCL39 has been so dominant. It's not just the Mercedes engine, it's not just the suspensions, it's not just the brake baskets, it's the ensemble, it's the comprehensive vision. McLaren's designers thought outside the box. They dared to place water radiators where nobody else had put them, and they found enormous advantages: aerodynamic, thermal, overall efficiency. Norris and Piastri have in their hands a truly special machine, a car hiding incredible technical secrets. And now that this detail has emerged, we can appreciate even more the genius behind this vehicle. This detail teaches us something important. In Formula One, copying isn't enough. Following trends isn't enough. You must innovate. You must think differently. You must have courage to try new solutions. McLaren did it with water radiators and found an enormous competitive advantage, a secret that remained hidden for months, until the Mexico photos revealed everything. And this is just one of the MCL39's secrets. Who knows how many other innovative details this car hides? How many other brilliant solutions we haven't discovered yet? McLaren's hidden secret is unveiled. Water radiators not in the side pods but on the power unit's back. A revolutionary solution explaining the aerodynamic superiority. And that will probably change the future of Formula One design. Brilliant.